You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
You know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk college football with real fans. I'm Melo. That's Bread. How you doing, Bread?
I'm good, Connor. What about yourself?
Man, I couldn't be any better, man. I'm on top of the world. If you haven't noticed, I lost my voice. I never screamed so loud. Uh, we're at live at the Rose Bowl. Well, we're at our hotel room right now. So like we wanted to go live at the Rose Bowl, but the internet out there was atrocious. So we got a lot of videos that we're gonna clip up, edit, and then throw on the channel uh once we get back home to our respective destinations. But I must say the atmosphere was electric to say the least. How'd you feel about the atmosphere, Brad?
Man, listen, that was on a whole nother level. I always dreamed going to the Rose Bowl, but the thing about it is that I went to the Rose Bowl, but I actually have a son that played in the Rose Bowl, which is so iconic, so legendary, and the granddaddy of them all.
Let me tell you, the Buckeye fan base is the best fan base in the world. I do not care. Um, you could go from Manchester United to New York Yankees, New York Giants, Dallas Cowgirls, whatever you want to, whoever you want to get. There's nothing like the Buckeye Nation and Buckeye fan base. We showed out. We showed out. I'm talking about we talking trash to Oregon from the moment we lined up to go in the gate all the way to where we was waving bye to them. We had some nice Oregon fans in our section. They were cool, but like they had to hear it. You know what I mean? Like all the BTAs that we were screaming out there, how they went out JJ's first touchdown, and you could just see from the beginning what type of game it was going to be, and that it was going to be a long day for that Oregon offense. So, what was your opinion on the opening possessions for us offensively and defensively from what you saw in the first quarter?
Listen, Chip Kelly, he came to coach. He came to coach. You can actually see a difference when the first Oregon game and this game was totally different. And it's crazy because this is like what I like our fourth or fifth shuffle with the O line, and those guys did a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job. Even though Oregon don't have no defense, I was never sold on a defense. But listen, Jim Knowles and Chip Kelly, they came to coach today. They really did. We scared the feathers off the ducks today, like literally. Them people ain't know what hit them in the first half. They ain't know nothing. And I love every bit of it, every second and every minute and all four quarters. Them guys play all four quarters of football, and I love it.
So to stay on that topic with the O line in general, um, we got to tip our hat to Justin Fry. I mean, it is what it is. The man needs to honestly. There's still things he to get better at. Obviously, we all do as humans. It's just a human thing. I would like to see him get better at high school recruiting, but everything else, like the development at this school, the who they pick and pluck from the transfer portal, it's just elite. He's doing an elite job. That O line was masterful. I think they only gave up maybe one or two. They probably gave up like 3 to 5 pressures the whole entire game. But like if you watch that the beginning of the first quarter again, I mean, Will had clean pockets. And I'm gonna tell you, watching a game in person is completely different than watching on TV. And I never realized that. It is a whole different experience. You can see everything. In the Rose Bowls, there's no bad seats. Literally, when they say there's no bad seats, there's none. And if you come here next year to the Rose Bowl, I suggest you sit up higher. It's actually the reverse from normal stadiums. The lower you sit, the worse the view is actually. You're more on the field level and in line, so you can't see the whole thing consistently. If you're up higher, you're looking down. It's almost like an all 22 perspective. You know what I mean? So like I gotta just salute that O line. They're the key, and literally the O line is going to be the reason we win this natty because our defense is the number one defense in the country, and there's no debating that. Will Howard is continue on his trajectory. He's a late first round, early second round pick. Period. I'm telling you, he's going to kill the combine. Um, JJ, Optimus Prime. He's not human. He's a transformer. His name is Optimus Prime. The only one that can be mentioned in the same breath as him, and I'm saying this now. I do not care. I'm saying it early. I coined him Optimus Prime last year. I coined him that when he was still in high school because I watched him playing in high school. The only one that can compare to him is Calvin Johnson, like straight up. And that's why I came up with Optimus Prime because what's Calvin Johnson's nickname? Megatron. So he's Optimus Prime, Calvin Johnson's Megatron, and then nobody in the world could guard Optimus Prime. Not in college. There's nobody in college that could guard him. And he absolutely went nuclear today. He had over 100 yards in the first quarter. What you see from your perspective when we were watching?
Man, listen, we was there live in color. Listen, Ohio State Buckeye fan, listen here. Y'all are so fun and funny all in one. So I'm gonna call it a nutshell. I love y'all. Boy, y'all were giving them people hell. But listen, let's go to the game, man. Listen, JJ did his thing. Will Smith did his thing. The O line did their thing. Matter of fact, everybody did their job. Everybody. It don't matter how you put it. Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, Jim Noel, and all the position coaches, they did a tremendous job today. A tremendous job. I got to give my hats off to the whole unit. I have to. Because listen, we went out there and smashed them people in the mouth, man. Them people was doodling bricks in the first half. Like they didn't know what was coming or where it was coming from. And the atmosphere was so high in the Rose Bowl, man, listen, it don't get no better than that. If that's what you call life, I want to live in it. Straight up. But they did a job, man. I'm proud of the kids, the student athletes, the ball players. Kudos to them. Um, but listen, that JJ man, oh my God, bro, the kid is not human, man. He's just not. And
Optimus Prime.
I've been watching the kid since he was 9 years old on the park in Miami. Listen to me, this kid on a whole nother level. And I don't see how they cheated him out of the award. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Ohio State have a target on their back, and they don't like it. It is what it is. I'm calling a spade a spade. Um, but I love every second, every minute of the day. Um, listen, traffic was terrible, but guess what? It was all worth it. Listen, it's so funny. We had to get at a certain point, and we start walking to the stadium. And man, we had some hot dogs on the grill. We had to grab a hot dog before, cause man, we had too much fun while I was up here. This is my first time in California. I love it. I will be back. But the Rose Bowl was everything to me today. I just love it. I just love it. There's no other way to explain it. But I'm gonna tell you like this: we skinned the feathers off them ducks and changed it to duck sauce.
I,
Checkmate.
I like that, man. So yeah, Ryan Day Bear live, there's nothing like it. I'm telling you, this is the greatest fan base in the world. In the world. The Ducks fans didn't know what smacked them. They were completely quiet. I'm telling you right now, people are gonna be like, oh, the Ducks was 64. No, I think it was 55-50. Duck and towards the Ducks way. So just think about how well we traveled. It's a $90,000 seat capacity, and 55% of it was Ducks fan. The rest were Ohio State fans. So 45%? Ohio State fans. Um, they were so quiet, bro. All you heard was good old sloopy. You heard a whole lot of OHs and IOs. You heard just all Ohio State cheers. All you heard was Ohio State fans. There was nothing until Oregon didn't start saying anything until they scored at the end of the second half,
Second quarter.
second quarter, right before halftime. So
Listen.
like they're quieter than a church mouse, and that was the best part. That was one of the best parts. That's not the best part. My best part is actually we won, but my favorite part was when they were leaving and we were just waving at them. We just waving at them goodbye and
Nah, nah,
saying nah
nah,
nah
nah.
nah nah nah
Hey,
nah
nah,
nah.
nah. Hey,
Hey, goodbye.
goodbye.
Man, that was so awesome, man. Watching that, and then the confetti, everybody's reaching and jumping and trying to grab the confetti. But another thing, like I just wanted to give myself a pat on the back. I'm just gonna do it right now because I told y'all the score was gonna be 42-24. I was one of the only people, our podcast and us as a group right here, were like the only people that A picked us and B picked us in a blowout. If you go watch all those other podcasters, they didn't pick us or they picked it to be like a 3-point game. But that's why it's important. First off, these kids are they're on a mission. They are on a mission, all glory to God, and they'll always give glory to God. But they're on a mission and they're not going to be stopped. But if you're not watching the all 22 film and breaking it down, don't even debate us, man, because we're gonna rip you apart straight up. And I'm gonna tell you guys because you guys are our family and our people. If I think we're not gonna do something, I'm gonna tell you the straight up truth. Like, yo, I'm nervous. I was nervous before the Tennessee game because I didn't know how our O line was gonna hold up. But I said if our O line played average, double digit win. We end up our O line played better than average and we smoked them. Today it was the same thing. Will Howard just sat back in the pocket. That dude was scanning. There's a couple things I want to get off my chest real quick, Brad, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna get into the chat.
Go ahead.
So I watched some. I'm not saying any names. Some of you guys already know who I'm talking about because I'm gonna text you guys. But like, we got Ohio podcasts, podcasters, not the Ohio podcast, but Ohio podcasters that said, "Oh, the Ducks are gonna. They're picking the Ducks to beat us." First off, like you might be a fan of Ohio State, but you're not really because you ain't watching the film. You're not watching the games. You're not watching all 22. So, like, why you need to watch your comments, honestly, because you sound stupid and now you look stupid to the entire fan base. And I'm not going to say your name because I don't want to put you on blast, but I know you watch our show and you know I'm talking to you because you said it and I put it in the comment section where I said you were acting like a bozo. So that's number one. Number two, I watch other people say how close of a game it was going to be. I watched two people that are very respected in the Buckeye community said they would take Will Stein and Dan Lanning over Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. Like, are you on crack? No, seriously, I got to ask you. I know we don't normally do that, but like you got to be on PCP or some kind of hallucinogen to say something that stupid. Dan Lanning just became a coach. Will Stein just became a coach. They haven't proved anything, and that's what you're going to say? Everything that happened this season, we beat ourselves in Oregon. And, like, let's be for real. When Will started his slide, it was 1 second left on the clock. The BS OPI that was never going to get called again. We lost 2 fumbles. We lost a whole possession because of false start because of Austin Stadium, the noise and the decibel level. You could go look that up on your own if you don't believe it. Then they hit the onside kick. They had to have a perfect game and us play really bad just to beat us by 1 point. So now you're going to say you're going to take Dan Lanning, the same Dan Lanning that last year was going for it on 4th and like 7 all the time and never getting it. That Dan Lanning, the same Dan Lanning that is always in a portal, and the same Dan Lanning that just spent $22 million on his roster to lose to a $20 million roster. Yeah, we saved $2 million. You should give that back to your collective because you just wasted $2 million, bro. And then you're going to talk about you're going to take Will Stein, the dude that never pushes the ball down the field. Dylan Gabriel was like second from the last place of pushing the ball down the field in terms of air yardage. And you talking about you gonna take him? He's so smart and innovative, and he came straight from high school, and that's what we know. You sound like a bozo. You need experience. You just saying stuff for clicks. You're doing clickbait. That's what you're doing. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. And I like you and I respect you, but you're doing clickbaitish stuff. Like, go do your research. I don't care who's backing you. You don't want to debate with me because I come with facts. You can't argue facts. And you saying dumb stuff. Like, I'm disappointed in all three of y'all. Period. I thought highly of y'all, and I still do. But that was some bozo statements by y'all. So I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. I love this game. I was chirping at cops today because we was walking the street. The street was blocked. The street was blocked. And the cop was like, oh, that car got to go on the other side, on the wrong side of the road to drive. First off, why is the car even on the street that's blocked off? Number one. So you know what I said? As soon as he said it, I screamed, OH. And all you heard was, yo,
Oh.
from like 50 people. And that cop got so mad, he got on this little bite and turned around and like, can y'all get on the curb? And then everybody got on the curb. As soon as he passed, we screamed OH at him. And he said, thank you. We're like, no, that's not the response. It's IO. And then we got back in the street. Yeah, I'm sure you're not too happy. You know what I'm saying? This experience was brilliant. It was phenomenal. It's gorgeous out here. The Wi-Fi is trash. Otherwise, we'd have been live from in the studio. Y'all would have got so much more content. We seen Geno Smith's dad. We got to talk to him. We seen Optimus Prime's dad. We saw little Kenyatta. Like little, he ain't little. He like 10 years old and he has tall as Kenyatta Senior. He like 6 feet. I'm not even kidding. He is huge. So anyway, what do you think about who's your defensive player in the game? I know they gave it to Cody Simon. Who would you pick outside of Cody Simon? Because Cody Simon balled out.
Man, listen, bro. That defense played lights out, bro. It's hard. It's very hard to pick just one because everybody did their duties. Um, but I'm gonna answer your question though. I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to Jack Sawyer, bro. I gotta give it to him. The D line played phenomenal. The linebacker played phenomenal. And then another one, Talik Williams did his thing. But if I had to choose, Jack played football. Jack, as a matter of fact, his nickname is Jack the Hammer. Jack the Hammer played football today, man. The whole D line played well. And man, listen, this is the most iconic thing that I've seen today from the time we got into the stadium until the time we left the stadium. Ohio State Buckeye fans, them people never sat down in their seat. Not even a commercial break. Them people on the move, going to the concession stand, come back up, restroom, man, look, they stood up the whole game. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. So guess what? Ohio State Buckeyes, I love y'all. Y'all, boy, hey, listen, y'all made my day today. Y'all literally made my day today. But let's get back to the question, Melo. I'm taking Jack the Hammer. And it is crazy that you say that question and everybody played their role, but I gotta roll with Jack the Hammer, man. Jack the Hammer did his thing.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Captain Jack was amazing. But since you, and that's who I would have picked too. But since you already picked him, who am I gonna go with? You know, I'm gonna go with a group. I'm not gonna go with a single player. I'm going with
Okay.
our DBs because if you remember the first game, they got torched, right? They weren't prepared. They weren't lined up and in position, ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? From the snap, so they were getting caught looking. It looked like they were looking in the backfield, but they were really just waiting to get the play calls in. Um, and then you had the little 5'9", 156 soaking wet wide receiver that thinks he's Optimus Prime, but you know Optimus Prime. You a
Right.
specialty slot receiver that's not gonna play on third downs. Named Tez Johnson. I'm saying your name though. I'm gonna say your name. Tez Johnson, who did nothing but ran his mouth. Oh, we see number one. We see his weaknesses. We're gonna take advantage. Man, Iggy had y'all boys on handcuffs.
Yes, he did.
He had
versus
y'all
that
in
one play.
handcuffs.
He got caught up. But listen,
Yeah,
that man played lights out with no PIs.
zero donut.
And guess
So,
what? And that's 2 games back to back, no PIs.
yep. And Denzel Burke, he didn't get burnt.
He played football today.
He didn't get burnt. They couldn't do nothing with him. Caleb Downs was making open field tackle. Caleb Downs' technique is so ridiculously flawless. Like, it's insane. Like, his dad, his family genetics, if you go watch, half his family playing D1 football or played in NFL, straight up, like high level D1 football. So, like, that's just a genetic, like they God put them, that whole family on this earth to play football straight up and entertain us and help motivate us and lift us up when we're going through whatever we're going through, because we all like go through this um phases of life where it's up and down. Not everything is always smooth sailing, or you're not always at a constant high. And sometimes, watching Buckeye football, just it always brings you up, especially when they're playing like this. um Now, what it brings me to, so I got to go with the DBs that, as a whole, just to let you know.
And
DB
speak
group.
on this and speak on the DB. I'm gonna talk about Caleb. Hey, I love Ransom. I love Hancock, Burt, Davidson. Listen, but this young fella, Caleb Down, bro, he is fundamentally sound, bro. Like he from head to toe, his IQ is very, very high. He is polished well, and he was taught well. Listen here, man. I watched that kid today, man. I'm like, man, this is like he remind me of myself a little bit when I was in school. Bro, this kid on a whole nother level. And they gotta see him again next season.
And the crazy thing is, I'm always good with nicknames and comparisons. So for me, Caleb Downs, you know who he reminds me of?
Who that?
One of the greatest safeties to ever play, Ed
Hold on,
Reed.
hold on. Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Ed Reed. He reminds me of Ed Reed, bro. He is fundamentally sound. He is beyond ridiculously intelligent. He should have had an interception. Unfortunate that he didn't. But I mean, that DB group locked down those wide receivers. I mean, Trayshawn Holden had a pretty good game, but like for only one to go off like that, and it took him forever before he went off. I mean, that's pretty sound. I'm pretty stoked about it. And
Hey,
yes,
let
I'm
me say
very
this.
excited.
Let me say this, Melo. Real talk to the
Yeah.
Buckeye Nation. If you're a real fan of the Buckeyes, listen to me. I'm telling y'all, leave Ryan Day alone. Leave Coach Ryan Day alone. He's doing his job. He's doing the best that he can. Being a head coach is not easy. It's not. That's just like being a coach, period. It's not easy. And that's the reason why I don't coach no more, because the generation have changed when it comes to sports and things like that in that nature. But listen to me. Ryan Day doing a tremendous job. I love Ryan Day. I love Coach Larry Johnson. Leave them people alone. Let them. Hey, we know what the expectations is with Ohio State. We know that, but don't antagonize them. Don't diminish them, because that ain't easy. That man coached football today. The last 2 games, that man coached football. Him and his comrade. So leave them people alone, man. And guess what? If y'all go to my Twitter page, I have a pinned comment that say Ohio State will have a rock and rolling offense and the best defense in the nation. And guess what? It still stands to the day. And I said that in August.
So the one thing I want to say about Ryan Day real quick, and Tyler, I'm gonna read Tyler's question. Mellow Bread, I have a question for both of you. Did Oregon have the flu on both offense and defense today? Um, yeah, I mean, they played like they had a flu. They should have just stayed in the locker room, to be honest. Um, it is what it is, though. I don't even know why they came out in the beginning. They should have forfeited. They would have saved their embarrassment. And a lot of that draft stock just plummeted. Shout out to Dylan Gabriel. Your stock went down. Taz Johnson, you got a big ass mouth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but you got a big mouth. Your stock went down. Who gonna want a big mouth talking wide receiver that's 5'9", 156 pounds, and run his mouth and then get locked down? I don't know too many scouts want to draft that. Y'all do not have any first round receivers except for maybe Evan Stewart, and he ain't leaving this year more than likely. He probably coming back. He would be wise to come back. If he leaves this year, you have zero first round receivers on that roster.
And that's the
So
kid
we're
that
gonna
came from
leave it
Texas
at that.
A&M, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
he could ball. He could
Oh
ball.
yeah, yeah, he can.
But like he don't have to talk. You know what I'm saying? He actually just let his game play.
Yeah, he do. He do. He remind me of Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
He
like
literally.
Taz, the thing is it's even worse. Like I know he hates contact because he always goes down as soon as he sees somebody. He just looks
Oh
like one
yeah,
of them
he did it like four
scary
times
cats.
today.
But it's way different in person. It is like it stands out like, dag, you a sucker. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But it brings me back to this point. So let me get back on track. Ryan Day said, and I've been asking this for a while. I want to see if anybody's opinion changed. Chat, this is also for you. I want you guys to answer this question. So Ryan Day said they slowed the pace down during the season and ran less plays to save the players' legs because they knew it was going to be a 17 game season and it's basically the NFL and they wanted them fresh for the playoffs. Do you guys think, and I'm asking this again, this is the third time I asked this, the third game in a row. Do you guys think that Coach Dave was just saying that as coach speak because it was convenient to fit the narrative at the time? Or do you think him and Chip really ran some analytics, sat there in the beginning of the summer and treated it like an NFL season and said, we're going to slow the pace down. We're not going to show a whole lot because most of the games we don't have to even do much to win. Look at Nebraska. That was like a D minus game, and they still beat them. So like we don't have to do a whole lot to win. And then when playoffs come, we're gonna ramp it up. We're gonna hit tempo. We're gonna open up the playbook. And we're gonna air it out, and we're gonna just destroy them. So I'll need to know in the comments section: do you think they really slowed it down intentionally, or do you think it was just convenient for the narrative? I'm gonna tell you right now. I think it was real. I think it was intentional. The reason I say that is because Chip came from the NFL. Coach Day came from the NFL. Brian Hartline played in the NFL. James Laurinaitis played in the NFL. OG Walk coached and played in the NFL. So like it's so much NFL talent across the board and experience on this team. That's why when we were on the Ohio pod, I said in the beginning the difference in our team this year and why we're going to win the Natty, besides just being the most senior and experienced team, was that our coaches, with this new format, with the head technology, the new headsets and technology, being able to talk to the quarterbacks and to the linebackers, that our coaching staff was best poised to handle that because they all had experience in the NFL more than any other coaching staff. And right now it's playing out before your eyes and it's showing. So anybody that thinks that it's not a big deal, is not that serious, then why are these other coaches like Kirby Smart going to the Falcons and asking them how they use the technology? What do they do? What's their game plan? Like
I'm gonna add to
it's
that.
a yeah, it's a big advantage for us. Go ahead.
I'm gonna add to that, Melo. I believe it is. I believe he did, and it's very, very possible. And then he really did have to slow it down because of the situation with the O line. So they had to make the best decision when it comes to the O line. It wasn't easy. But yeah, so I strongly believe that he did that. They did that, and that's very, very possible because I see it all the time in high school and youth football, things like that. And so, like you just said, those guys they coach and played in the NFL, so they knew exactly what they doing. So I get 1,000%. 1,000%. I can agree with that. Yes.
I like this comment by Art, but I'm gonna let you answer this. I'm gonna read that aloud. I said that all season about the tempo and slowing it down. Now I'm also saying they held back too much in terms of like not opening the playbook. So this is you go ahead and answer it, then I'm gonna answer it after you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Most definitely. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day. We gonna speak on because they they call plays. Um, and that's the reason why Coach Ryan Day brought Coach Chip Kelly in, so he could, take some of that stress off and things like that in that nature. but he's still a head coach. He's still gonna call what need to be called, what need to be done, the pros and the cons and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, yes, they held back a lot. And you can tell in some of the games that they were playing, like, I'm gonna go to Michigan. What the hell Chip Kelly was calling? What the hell he was calling the whole game? You get what I'm saying? I know the playbook was bigger than that. I know it's bigger than that. But he was doing things backwards. So that give you an idea that they was holding back a whole lot, which is nothing new. All OCs held back. But now watch this now. When we played Oregon the first game, that OC for Oregon got real loose, but he could not do nothing with the defense today. He couldn't do nothing. When I say that defense came to play, man, they came and played and shut them people down across the board. So my answer is yes, they held back a lot. They did.
So my whole thing is I look at it two ways because it could two things could be right at the same time. Yes, I do think they held back a lot, and I do think it cost us the game at Team Up North. I do not think it cost us the game, the first Oregon game. I think the first
Absolutely.
Oregon game that we kind of bad officiating, playing on a hostile road. The time changed for the first time, and I mean that crowd, their crowd base is pretty thorough. They're similar to us. You know what I'm saying? They're not exactly us, but they're similar. So I can see how that would play a role. So it wasn't so much holding back, and we aired the ball out in that game. Um, Team Up North, yes, it was bad. It was bad play calling. But at the same time, they didn't want to put too much, like I said, on tape for people to be able to prepare for them. Because we got, let's be honest, right? And yes, this is just like big brain thinking, but I think it's probably some truth. We'll probably dig around and find out, try to find out about it. But say Ohio State has to play Western Kentucky, right? Of course, we're going to say, yeah, we're game planning for Western Kentucky. We're game planning for Western Kentucky. But you might game plan for Western Kentucky for like maybe a day, 2 days. That's all you probably need to beat them just off talent alone. So then what are you doing? You might be looking at a team that you're about to play in the playoffs. And you like, all right, let's project, let's start game planning for them because we're going to win this game. Let's go ahead and game plan for them.
Right.
So these teams are all very talented. They didn't want to put all that stuff. This is just what I think. They didn't want to put all that material out there in public for other coaches to game plan for. So that's all I'm saying. Like that's why I think they might have had held something back.
I'm gonna say this. 7-9 Steely Matt. You put it right on Tyler. um, we all watched the game. This ain't nothing new. They know number 97 is a ball player. They know that. So they're gonna do the best they can to slow him up, slow him down, get him frustrated. That's what they do. See, but for me, as a coaching standpoint, I motivate him. What you gonna do when you get double teamed? What you gonna do when you get held, or whatever the case may be? You gotta find. It's always a hundred ways to scale a fish. You can't let that bother you because this is business right now. You can't make nothing personal when it comes to the officiating. Like the Texas on the Tennessee game, they called a personal foul. We all know there wasn't no personal foul. But listen, at the end of the day, man, they're gonna do what's best to slow a defender down. Um, what play that was, Melo, when matter of fact, I think they held him and Jack on the same play with the two refs in the back looking dead at him and they ain't throw no flag. But bro, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Ohio State have a target on their back. And listen, that game, Oregon ain't supposed to score. I'm gonna be honest, they ain't supposed to score. They try to keep them in the game so it won't get ugly and it won't be ugly or get them no donut. Get them a glazed donut, you know what I'm saying? But listen, at the end of the day, bro, he still gotta play football. They still gotta play football. And and that's what they did. They played football, they didn't complain. They played football to the whistle blow and the game was over. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Art Buck. Michigan is better than what we thought, and it definitely surprised people. We took that for granted. And then our kicker missed 2 field goals. Even as bad as we played and how bad of a game plan it was, if the kicker hits those field goals, we win. But he did an exceptional job today. Let me tell you, he had everybody in the crowd high fiving. But when that first time he went to line up for the kick, I'll tell you, everybody was holding their breath. Everybody was sighing. No, I'm not. I'm not even joking. Like I'm being so serious. The whole crowd was sighing. It was just
Oh
like,
man, y'all
oh
had to
my
be
goodness,
there. They had to be there, Melo. They had to be there to understand. Cause boy,
yeah.
the crowd was like, "Oh, here we go."
And then he hit it, and everybody just started cheering like we scored a touchdown, and everybody started screaming "OHIO" and high fiving. It was so awesome, man. The experience. If you guys ever get a chance to come to the Rose Bowl, you have to. It's bucket list. It has to be
Yes,
bucket list.
you
It's
put
so
that
worth
on your
it.
bucket list. Put that on your. It's a legendary stadium, and it's very iconic. And the slogan, "The granddaddy of them all." Hey, you welcome, silly.
Hey, Art Buck said McAfee mentioned that on his cast. Laugh out loud. What did he mention, Art Buck, about the crowd sighing with the kicker? Because if he said that, I mean, McAfee needs to stop keeping it so real for for the public. You gotta come to experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta make us look bad. Like everybody already thinks we the lunatic fringe. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
uh, I want to see. You know what I want to see? Let's talk about what we want to see next game, and then we'll close this out. Next game, I want to see Carnell Tate get some more targets. I mean, obviously, we got a cheat code in Optimus Prime. He's unguardable. We watched Will put it between 3 defenders in the zone, and JJ just climbed the ladder and just plucked it out the air. So, but outside of that, I want to see Tate get some more targets, man. What do you want to see from the offense?
To be honest with you, I mean, I want to see all the receivers be great, do great things all at one time, um, in the same game. I want to see that. I know that we were going through a little hardship with the O line, but I want to see Trey Hen get most of the carry going forward. That's just me. That's our speedster. I love Jenkins. He a power back. I love him. But with Trey Hen get the ball, man, it's just different when he get the ball. It's just like Sonic. When he get that ball, boy, he gone, and I love it. I love his speed. I just love the kid. Period. His mannerism. He's a good-hearted individual, but I want to see him carry more against Texas and going forward. So yes.
Troy V. Mello, at what point in the game did the Oregon fans start saying rut rower? I'm not really sure. I'm not. I mean, we were so loud. I'm gonna be honest with you. You couldn't really hear
Real
the Oregon
loud.
fans,
You're
and
right.
they didn't have much to cheer about. And it was
Oh, they did.
crazy.
They did.
They played the shout song, and I mean, they were getting their teeth kicked in. But you should have seen it. All the Ohio State side was dancing to it and singing it too. Like, and I mean, we were turned up because we were beating them. So that was a cool experience. I kind of like that. Uh, Bob Googs, here's the duck hunting and roasting. Mello and Kenyatta Jackson Sr. What an outcome. What a game for Kenyatta Jr. And the D featured unit. Hi and yo, hey to all on the boys. Hook the horns. Cotton, cotton, cotton. Yeah. Now it's time. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it because it might get taken wrong.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, Melo.
Nah.
Thank you for that,
So
Bob.
like,
Thank you for that, Bob.
what I want to see, I want to see from the offense. I do want to see Carnell Tate get the ball more. I want to see the offense of line continue to do what they're doing because I think they're playing elite for all the changes that they have. But the main thing I want to see is I need the officiating to step it up, bro. Like
Oh man.
you missed at least 4 different holding calls. Still didn't call the other team
Yeah,
for a holding. They
at all.
hold like crazy. It is obvious when you're in person. It's a little harder to see on the
When
TV
you're on
copy, but in
TV.
person, you could see all the holes. They hold a lot. Our
This,
D
this,
lines
this
get
the funny
held.
part, though, Melo. The fans. We watching the same game, and guess what? They holding. Let them go. Throw them flag. That's how tuned in the fans was in the Rose Bowl, and man, they did not miss a beat at all. They watched everything,
Yep.
everything.
So I want the officials to do a better job. I need those holding calls. Um, they're calling garbage on us. Like we're not getting anything, any PIs. Like you're telling me they don't pass interfere with JJ.
Oh, they do it a
You
lot.
know what I mean?
They do it a lot.
Exactly. That's my whole point. So like, come on, man. That's the main thing I want to see. For the defense, I want them to keep doing what they do and stay hungry. Can you believe
Yeah,
we had 8 sacks today? Eight.
yeah,
Not one, not two, not three, not four,
yeah,
not
yeah,
five, not
yeah.
six, not seven. We had 8. I feel like
We,
LeBron James out here, right?
facts. You took it out of my mouth,
8.
Melo. The D line played so unselfish today, so unselfish. And that was so tremendous. You had guys who was in the right place. They did not care about the sack. As long as they kept that man within those boundaries and let his teammate come get him, man, them boy played lights out today. And I love it. And that's how you play football.
Hey, I gotta be honest with you. Dylan Gabriel is really slippery. He is so slippery. He's hard to get down, man. Especially because he's so small. He's so little to the ground, and he's quicker than he looks. He could throw on the run a little bit, but he is small. They little boyed him. Jack had what 3, 4 batted down balls. I
Yeah.
mean, and I wanted them to do the little this. Well, you know what they do in the NBA when they just like, yeah, you
Right.
small. I
Right.
wanted them to do that. I was doing it for them though. So like that's what's up.
No, we ain't gonna condone those taunting, Melo.
Hold up, hold up. You talking about a team where their wide receiver spit in a man
Oh
another grown
yeah,
man's face.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like, and then you talking about another wide receiver that's talking about all your weaknesses and they gonna do this and that to you. Nah.
Yeah.
The gloves is off. Like straight up, the
Oh,
gloves
it's
is
no hold
off.
bar. It's no hold bar now, bro. We're in the playoffs, man. It's anything goes
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but I mean that's personal. Like I'm telling you, you little, and I'm gonna get in your head and let you know that you little, because it's not just the taunting. It's the psychological warfare. This is what Kobe Bryant was set apart, what MJ set apart, Larry Bird set him apart because they're gonna get in your head. So you keep telling him he's little and you keep batting his passing down. Guess
Oh
what he's
yeah,
gonna start
you gonna
thinking?
use that as motivation.
No, he's gonna think I'm little. I
Oh
can't make
yeah,
that pass. It's going to throw off his timing. Like, I got to get this ball out before they bat it. Or, oh, I can't make that pass, so I got to get a different lane. And then he might try to step up in the pocket and you hit him. So, like, it's not just about the taunting. The taunting, yes, it's cool. That's the fun part. That's the entertainment part for the fan. But it's more on the psychological part. Like, Dylan Gabriel, you're small. I'm going to tell you you're small. And now you're going to know that you're small because I'm proving it with the proof and I'm batting your balls back in your face. So now you know for a fact you're small, your confidence is shrinking because Dylan Gabriel is a dangerous dude. You know what I'm saying? He gets hot. He's hard to stop. So that's what I'm saying. And Tierra, TG, I'm sorry. I saw you wanted to come on. We're going to have to do that on the next show when we get back home because it's too much going on. We all got early flights. Brad's flight is leaving at like 05:45, which is 5:45 a.m. for everybody out there that doesn't know military time.
right.
Yeah, the Ducks had negative 26 rushing yards total.
Facts.
Total. Dylan Gabriel had negative 48, I think, by himself.
They were
That's
tearing him up.
crazy.
They were tearing him up, coach. That D line came to play, boy. Jack the Hammer, JT Money, KJ Jr. Oh, Caden Curry.
Yeah,
We cannot leave that fella out, man. That fella play every time he got it, he made something happen.
yeah,
The
he had a
whole
shot.
now Talik, K Mac, man, all the whole D line played phenomenal. And guess what? They did the rotation so perfectly. So perfectly. 2 games back to back. That's what you need. Now we're going against Texas, and Texas ain't no pushover. We got to increase increase our game in the Cotton Bowl. Cause listen, we going to play some football. We're going to play some football, but we ain't going against no easy team. So yeah.
Man, we're on the verge, and people, I want you to just take this in and think about it. We're on the verge of witnessing the greatest champion in the history of college
College
football.
football.
And once they complete this mission, they already played what, three or four top 10 teams during the regular season. Then they played Tennessee,
Yeah.
that was the number one, pretty much the number one defense in the SEC. They
Yeah.
smoked them.
Yeah.
Play Oregon, ranked number one in the country, didn't lose a game, smoked them. Now we go to Dallas to play Texas in Dallas. If we beat them, which I believe we will, I just still need to dive into the film before I can make predictions on what I think is going to be. Um, Beat them in Texas, which is basically a home game for them.
So
Then we
I
go
got a
to
question.
the
I got a
Natty,
question.
and we possibly beat UGA or
Right.
Notre Dame, or it could
Right.
be an all Big Ten and we play Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah.
So like this could be the greatest collegiate run to a national championship in the history of college football. Just
And
think about that.
ain't no but elite teams in this playoff, bro. Arizona State. We couldn't watch the game because we're watching our own game. Listen, the way how they played Texas, and I heard they got robbed. I heard they got bamboozled. But listen, is Arizona is that good, or Texas ain't up par like that? That's my question.
You know what I think?
I'm listening, bro.
I think it comes down to culture.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I think Quinn Ewers is kicking himself for leaving Ohio State. I really do. Like I think Quinn did himself a disservice. If he would have just stayed here, battled it out with KMC. He would have got developed way better because Ryan Day is just a better developer of QBs. I mean, that's just point
Right.
blank, period. I don't
I
care what no
agree.
one says. So,
I
like,
agree.
I think he made a bad career decision, and now he's probably going to have to come back to college because he didn't develop properly.
Because he wanted to start and roll over CJ Stroud. That wasn't happening, boss man. That just wasn't happening. But that's his fault. That what he got to deal with. So he made it. He didn't make it business. He made it a personal decision to do that. Now it came back and bit him in the butt. So it is what it is.
But it is, yes, it is what it is. To the Buckeye Boys family, we thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. I know most of you have, but just share us. Try to get us out there. I'm gonna go ahead and let Brad go ahead and go bed up because he got to be up in like 4 hours to get ready to leave and catch his flight. And we're not exactly right by LAX, but we enjoyed this game. It was the best experience I've ever had in my life at it with a sporting event, and we got a dub. We roasted some duck today. So, and on that note, I will be going to get me some duck tomorrow. I will try to post some pictures of it. And yeah, duck roasting season, duck hunt, the great duck hunt is officially over. We got our fill, and I'm sure they got their fill, and they're ready to just go ahead and soak their wounds. And I'm about to go watch Dan Lanning cry in his presser because I haven't got to watch anything yet. So I'm
Hey,
looking forward to
I
all
seen
that.
a sign. I seen a sign on Facebook, social media say about a laddie that when he moan he pees. Oh, these people crazy, coach. These people crazy, coach.
But on that note, thank you guys for joining us. We love y'all. Buckeye Nation is the best. It's the greatest fan base in all the world in all sports. It don't matter. Nobody's like us. Nobody's built like us. And I can understand if you're not a part of this great fan base, how you could find us annoying at times because we know who we are and we're going to go hard for our team. My suggestion to you, if you're offended, is to come on and join the other side and join the winners because this program is the most solid program in the history of college football, and that's just a fact. It's the greatest franchise ever, And I'm calling it a franchise because now we paying our players, which is fine. They earned it and they deserve it. And they're just gonna keep rewarding us and hopefully with more and more natties. So salute to the whole coaching staff, to all the young men that played tonight. They played their hearts out. This is some of the best football I've ever seen. And thank you guys for joining us. On that note, OH,
Oh,
go Bucks.
go Bucks.